Is Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with Internal Revenue Service. Welcome to my YouTube station. I've got about, 2,000 YouTubes out there, about 9,000 subscribers. Most of you have come to, if you see me on the news, I'm on the news a lot. You can go to my website at 777irs.com, but more importantly, you can see my team there is more important than anything. I have worked about 10,000 cases. I was a teaching instructor while at IRS. I was a revenue officer, and I've been in private practice for 40 years. You know, I want to talk to you today about the National Tax Relief Debt Program. There's so many names for this thing. The National Tax Debt Relief, the Fresh Start Tax Program. You know, while I worked at IRS, I was an offer and compromise specialist. That means I accepted offers and deny offers. Peter Salinger of my office has worked over 3,500 offers and compromise as a group manager, supervisor up in New York, and as a branch chief. His office just processes so many offers. That's many he's reviewed. So we're experts in this matter. You know, the offer and compromise has many names. It's called tax debt forgiveness. It's called the National Tax Debt Relief Program. It's called the Fresh Start Program. I'm sure that all the politicians have a hand in saying it's their program. Basically, this program has been around a long time. I started working IRS at 73, and while I was there, that offer and compromise was there. It was in a different form. Joe Louis actually was a boxer. Many of you may not know Joe Louis, but he was the first one that we know of that got an offer and compromise accepted. It went ahead and dwarfed through the years, just so you know. But today, the only way you're going to settle your tax debt is through the offer and compromise program. So if you're looking through all these YouTube sites, because people madly say when they owe taxes, the first thing they do is they want to settle. Well, the big fallacy is not everyone can settle their debt. I have worked so many of these cases, and to the surprise of many people are wasting their money, because you get across many of these ad firms and these marketing firms telling you, oh, you have no idea how many calls I get of people that have been ripped off by companies saying they can settle their debt. When I looked at the financial statement, by the second page, you knew they couldn't settle their debt. So I just want to give you a little 1 minute brief. IRS is looking at two things. IRS is looking at your income and expenses, and they're looking at your equity and your assets. If you have equity in all your assets to pay the liability off, IRS is going to accept an offer. If you have the equity in the home to pay the tax off, in a pension plan, they're not going to accept the offer. IRS is a federal tax lien, so they're not going to accept your offer and compromise. Just go ahead and know that. Get over it. They're not. I wouldn't even take the case, and don't believe anyone. Hang up the phone if anyone tells you they can. The other thing they look at is your income to expense. What most people are really not aware of is that IRS dictates what expenses that they allow you to take on your financial statement, and that's governed by the IRS National Standard Program. You can look them up yourself. They usually have 4 or 5 categories: food and clothing, housing and utilities, car payments, car expenses, and sometimes prescription drugs on some occasions if you don't have a lot. So anyway, those are the things. So there is no national tax debt relief. It's called the Offer and Compromise Program. If you want an offer through, we are the leading experts. I don't know anyone who's worked more offer cases than Peter and myself. Anyway, go ahead, give me a subscription. If you call my office, you speak to me, but subscriptions help me. I got a crap load of other videos out there. I hope that helps you. Thank you very much. I appreciate the subscription.